Welcome to this explainer. You know, if you've ever felt like your Mac is making you do all the heavy lifting, well, you are definitely in the right place. Today, we're going to completely demystify the macOS Shortcuts app. We're going to take you from a total beginner and turn you into an absolute automation powerhouse. Let's kick things off with a quick question. How many hours do you waste on repetitive computer tasks every single week? I really want you to genuinely think about that for a second. Think about all the tedious clicking, dragging windows around, batch formatting files, or going through your daily setup routines manually. Ask yourself, isn't there a more efficient way to interact with my machine? Spoiler alert, there absolutely is.
And that brings us to Apple's built-in Shortcuts app. This is your ultimate solution to reclaiming your time and fully automating your digital life. Now, you might be thinking, but I don't know how to code. Well, that is the best part. You don't need a computer science degree. You can literally save hours of repetitive work without writing a single line of code.
All right, here's our roadmap for today. 1. Welcome to macOS automation. 2. Navigating the Shortcuts app. 3. Building your first workflow. 4. Integrating with your Mac. 5. Advanced scripts and automation. And 6. Troubleshooting and the future. Okay, let's jump right into section 1. Welcome to macOS automation. At its core, this app acts as the brain for your tasks. It uses actions, variables, inputs, conditions, and logic to get things done. And what's really cool is how universally supported this is across modern Mac hardware. Whether you're running macOS Monterey, Ventura, Sonoma, or the brand new Sequoia, or whether you're on an older Intel Mac or one of those blazing fast Apple Silicon machines, this tool is baked right into your system and ready to go. Moving right along to section 2, navigating the Shortcuts app. Now, whether you launch the app from Spotlight just by pressing Command Space, or you open it from your Applications folder, you're going to be greeted by the Center library. And honestly, it's a super inviting workspace. Your available shortcuts are displayed as these highly visual, color-coded tiles. It totally removes any intimidation factor. You've got a sidebar on the left organizing everything into neat folders, and a massive gallery of ready-made workflows right at your fingertips. But when you actually want to create something brand new, you jump into the Workflow Editor canvas. This is where the real magic happens. You start with a completely blank canvas on the left side. Then, over on the right, you have an organized, searchable list of actions. And to build something, you literally just drag an action from the right and drop it onto the left. It's really that beautifully simple, which perfectly sets up section 3, building your first workflow. Before we build anything, though, we really have to understand the fundamental building block of a shortcut, which is an action. Every single workflow is basically just a chain of actions stacked together. You can think of an action like a single Lego brick. It performs one specific single task, like open up, or rename file, or run shell script. Your only job is to click those virtual bricks together in the right sequence. So let's put this into practice. By following 5 really basic steps, a developer or a student or a creator can build a launcher that opens their entire digital workspace with one single click. First, you open the Shortcuts app. Second, you click that little plus button. Third, search for the Open App action. Fourth, add the specific apps you need. Let's say Safari, Terminal, and VS Code. Finally, name it something like Developer Setup. And boom, instead of hunting through your dock every single morning, one click launches your entire environment. Game changer, right? All right, section 4, integrating with your Mac. Now we're taking things up a notch. Over in the Shortcuts sidebar, there is a Quick Actions category, and this is huge. By dragging your finished workflows into this specific folder, you make them accessible from almost anywhere on your Mac. It completely breaks the shortcuts out of the app itself. This deep integration is absolutely where the system shines. For instance, you can simply right-click a screenshot directly in Finder. Go down to your Quick Actions menu and trigger a shortcut to automatically resize, compress, and rename that image. You don't even have to open a photo editing app. The operating system just does the heavy lifting for you instantly. Let's level up in section 5, advanced scripts and automation. Imagine just pressing a single keyboard combination and letting shortcuts execute an entire 5-step YouTube creator workflow sequentially in mere seconds. Right at 0 seconds, it pops open Photoshop for your thumbnail. 1 second later, it opens the specific Finder folder with your assets. Next, it launches your browser directly to YouTube Studio, and finally opens your Notes app for your video description. This whole routine would normally take minutes of clicking around. Now it happens instantly while you take a sip of your coffee.
But to make these sequences truly intelligent, you need to step beyond just static actions. You do this by combining variables and conditional logic. Variables are dynamic pieces of data, like the current date, whatever text is currently sitting on your clipboard, or a file you just selected. Conditional logic, on the other hand, gives your Mac a brain. It's setting rules like, hey, if my battery drops below 20%, automatically enable low power mode. Combine those two, and the possibilities are literally endless.
And you absolutely aren't limited to basic point-and-click stuff. Advanced users and IT pros can actually automate raw terminal commands right alongside native Mac actions. You can run Bash or ZSH shell scripts to automate network diagnostics like pinging a website or execute server automation and system cleanup. It even fully supports AppleScript and JavaScript. You're wrapping all that complex code into a beautiful, simple, clickable button. Finally, let's wrap things up with Section 6, Troubleshooting and the Future. If you've been a Mac user for a while, you probably remember Automator, but Apple's future focus is entirely on shortcuts now. As we can see, Shortcuts has completely eclipsed the older Automator app. It brings a totally modern UI, cloud syncing, and crucially, seamless iPhone sync. You can build a shortcut on your Mac, and bam, it immediately appears on your iPhone via iCloud. Plus, it's so much easier for beginners to pick up. Now, because Shortcuts interfaces so deeply with your system, you might occasionally hit a snag. If a shortcut suddenly won't run, troubleshooting usually just boils down to checking your system settings for privacy and security permissions. macOS is super secure, so it wants your explicit permission before a script touches your files. Missing actions? Just ensure the specific third-party app is actually installed. And if you're having sync issues, simply verify that iCloud is enabled and that you're using the same Apple ID across all your devices. We've covered a massive amount of ground today, all the way from basic app launchers up to advanced shell scripting. With this incredible power now totally unlocked and right at your fingertips, what is the very first repetitive task you are going to automate on your Mac today? The next time you find yourself doing a mindless digital chore, just stop. Ask yourself, why am I doing this instead of my Mac? Dive into the app, drag a few actions together, and start making your machine work for you.